Hey all, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the DY-Play BQC35. These are TWS wireless earbuds that sell for around $60, sometimes goes on sale for a little less than that, and they're the least expensive in-ear style headphones that have built-in active noise cancellation, or ANC. So it's not just working like CVC, which is for phone calls, but it can actually cancel out the background noises of engines, of fans. So if you're constantly traveling and you want to listen to music or rest in comfort, this might be an interesting model to take a closer look at. DY-Play has made other ANC-powered headphones in the past. In fact, they really specialize in active noise canceling at a budget. We've covered some of their other offerings in the past, like the Urban Travelers, which are over-the-ear style headphones, and also the ANC30s, which are in-ear style buds, but they have a neckband form factor. This is their first pair that's a truly wireless. The earbuds themselves will last for around 6 hours of music listening with ANC turned off. With the mode turned on, which you can double tap on the left side to activate, it will last for around 5 hours. We're talking about 10mm drivers, and then with the battery case together, we're getting a combined battery life of around 24 hours or so. As for packaging contents, we have access to a quick user manual that tells you how to connect them. Of course, they use Bluetooth 5.0, although it's using a Realtek chip, so there is no Qualcomm aptX or aptX support on this particular model. It's touch sensitive, so you can tap on it to answer phone calls and control it, although one thing you aren't able to do is change the volume directly. We have the battery case and buds themselves. We also have a USB Type-C charging cable, always nice to see, and we have some spare silicone tips to get a more comfortable fit. The design is quite irregular and bizarre. It almost reminds me of an alien pod. Definitely is different from any other battery case I've seen on the market. We've got LED indication lights, which will glow when the buds themselves are being charged, and then nothing else on the bottom. So there's no branding at all. The lid here is held magnetically, so it opens up to reveal the buds themselves, which also continues the whole trend of going for kind of an alien-inspired look. It's not too far off from what Xiaomi uses on their Redmi AirDots, what QCY uses on some of their other slightly less expensive wireless earbuds, and overall feels solid enough. As a quick size comparison, here they are next to the Apple AirPods, so you can see the regular version case is definitely a little smaller than these, but overall it's still not too bad. It can still slide into a pocket or a backpack without too many issues. The case is actually a little bit smaller than the Vibes Lab New Flows, which are a little bit chunkier and thicker, as you can see there. They're also slightly lighter as well. Now, compared to the Mifo 05s, you can see the dimensions are roughly about the same, but they are significantly lighter feeling because of the polycarbonate plastic being used, and it's definitely smaller than, say, the Powerbeats Pros. A closer look at the buds themselves, we have 4 contacts, 2 for charging, 2 for the magnets, a series of microphones that we can start to make out on the body, which are used to pick up ambient noise in the surroundings and create that active noise cancellation. The front area here, which is touch sensitive, is always nice to see. I prefer this to, say, a physical button just because it doesn't require too much pressure, and it is very sensitive and easy to press. Whenever you tap on it, there's also an audible click sound that gives you confirmation that you've indeed tapped on it. As a quick size comparison, here they are next to the New Flows that you can see are also active noise canceling. They're actually smaller than the New Flows, which has this extension stem to them, which makes the dimensions a little bit larger. Thickness is actually about the same, as you can see there. It is going to be a little bit thicker compared to regular TWS buds that don't have active noise cancellation. They're still relatively lightweight and comfortable, even if you're wearing them for extended periods of time. So overall, not too bad in terms of the size of these active noise canceling buds. Moving into performance, let's start with the active noise cancellation. I'm glad to say that it is indeed very impressive. In fact, I found them to be on par with the New Flows, also on par with some of Sony's active noise canceling buds, on par with Apple's Powerbeats Pros. So when I did a comparison test earlier, I found that they indeed were quite effective in terms of reducing the sound of engines. So if you're sitting in a car, if you're on an airplane, it does make a pretty big difference. Almost like magic, whenever you tap on the left side 2 times, ANC is flicked on. Even with ANC turned on, it doesn't really impact the soundstage or the profile of the sound itself. A lot of times on ANC headsets, we'll see when it's turned on, the bass is suddenly amplified and it kind of distorts or reshapes the EQ of what you're listening to. But on these, turning ANC on or off doesn't really impact the sound profile. And when it comes to the audio quality itself, I would say it's also pleasantly good. It may not be truly audiophile grade, especially if you compare them to, say, more expensive earbuds like the Mifo O7s that we just reviewed, which have dual drivers and some of the most accurate tunings around. But compared to other slightly cheaper TWS earbuds, such as Redmi AirDots, offerings from Soundpeats or QCY, they are very much on par. They are pretty hefty in terms of bass, so if you are a bass head, you enjoy listening to drum beats, to EDM music, you'll be pleasantly impressed here. At the same time, mids and highs are also reasonably clean, giving you a nice overall listening experience. They get quite loud, and even if you're using them for the full 5 or 6 hours, it can still be quite comfortable. Furthermore, I'd say that the connectivity and latency are both also quite good. For not having Qualcomm's aptX, there's not a huge lag that I noticed when it came to watching videos with them, especially through applications like YouTube, which have already been optimized through the software these days to try and sync them as wireless buds become more and more popular. So you can definitely watch videos with these, and I found the left and right side to still be fully connected without any problems, never really encountered any dropped connections between the phone and the earbuds. So overall, it was pretty stable and consistent. So that's more or less it as far as the DY Play BQC35 active noise cancelling wireless earbuds. It's great to see the function now applied on models which are pretty inexpensive. Again, selling for around 60 bucks. I've seen it floating around on sale, in fact, for as low as $35 to $40, which is, again, a pretty insane price. Almost half the price, in fact, of the new Flows that we just checked out a few months ago that was using ANC as one of its strongest selling points. Although pure audio quality might not be the best that I've ever tried, considering the relatively inexpensive price, it definitely hangs with the rest of Bluetooth 5.0 buds we've seen lately from manufacturers like Redmi, Soundpeats, and QCY, giving us surprisingly good bass and also a decent, comfortable listening experience for most genres of casual music listening. So if interested, especially with that ANC function, I think this is definitely worth a closer look. So you can check out more details if interested in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the DY Play BQC35 ANC TWS earbuds.